Seekonk Speedway, the action track at East.
But from Cumberland in car number 36. Bob Betancourt in that 21 car, and Pete ProNyne is the fourth from Carver with Bob. There he is. Pete ProNyne outside. The green flag is down. Al Rodriguez says, "Let's go. Let's start racing." We get underway. The first event of the evening is the street stock division as Scotty Lavelle bringing him down. Chris Robbins trying to hold on. Look at the 3 deep in the turn. The 3 deep in the turn as Pete ProNyne is in that 26. Tries to make it 4. 4 down the main straightaway. Look out, it gets too tight in there. Amasey, Harmon, and Betancourt sideways. They both straightened out. The 70 is going backwards. Is it going backwards? That's good too. The 80, Scott Lavelle continues to lead, but not for long. Down the inside goes Keith Moreau. Keith Moreau squeezes by, takes over the lead away with the 33 car of Sean Sylvia right behind him. Betancourt in the 21 way out there, throwing them back into that car around. Betancourt gets out, back in again. The 70 of Lee Palmer now way back in the rear. Whatever happened to that car, he must have lost a valve or something. He was running strong, now he's gone way to the back. Black flag coming out for somebody for the number 24. Number 24, black flag, he's losing something. Chris McGee, that white car, he's getting the black flag. He's got a problem at the halfway mark. At the halfway mark, Chris McGee with a problem with the 24. Did you say what it was? No, I don't know, I can't hear. Robbins going to get underneath the 33 of Sean Sylvia, and whoa, look out. Mike Camarama that gets the 86 around backwards, gets it back going again. And the 38 continues to lead Keith Moreau. Keith Moreau, Amasey Harmon now on the outside. He decides to challenge the 33 of Sean Sylvia. Amasey really gets by Sylvia. But can he close it? Yes, he does. He gets that red number 40 in there to close the door and comes right in. He's going after the lead. He's going after the lead. 2 more to go. 2 more to go. 2 more to go as 24 limited in for the day. Stop giving him the black flag too. Yeah. Here comes your leader coming out, the 38, being challenged hard by Amasey Harmon, as Harmon, who wants to be first all the time, nudges him through the corners, stays right on his backside. Look out. Wide goes Harmon, coming around the 38 as Keith Moreau trying to hold on. Keith Moreau wins it, but by a nose over Harmon, with the 33 of Sean Sylvia finishing in 3rd. The 91 of Chris Robbins finishing 4th. And after that, we don't know. But it was Keith Moreau in the first one with... That gives for high speeds in every single division. Kevin.
Okay, thank you, Jim. Coming out onto the track next will be the second of 3 street stock heat events. 12 laps of distance, 6 cars will qualify for the feature event. On the pole, out of Fairhaven, Mass, in the big job, number 59 is Jose Ferro Jr. Outside of Jose, out of Oak Bluffs, Massachusetts, and the number 72 is Albert Clemens. Mike Hope will start the race on 3rd spot. He hails from Rehoboth, Mass. In the DVG Racing Apparel, number 9, outside of Mike, out of Warwick, Rhode Island, in the Sea Farm Kennels, number 4 is Rob Kohler. Starting 5th on the field, out of Taunton, Mass, in the Buck Stevens Freetown Auto, number 49 is Dave Westgate. Outside of Dave, last week's Street Stock feature winner out of Warwick, Rhode Island, in the Taylor Racing, number 53 is Scott Serendinsky. Gene Weston rolls off 7th. He hails from Warwick, Rhode Island, in the Auto Trader 00. This time around, Jose Ferro and Albert Clemens will bring him around. Al Rodriguez waves the green flag, and we're underway. Ferro bobbles just a little bit. Clemens gets ahead. Kohler gets a side, and they're side by side for that 2nd spot as Albert Clemens looks to pull away from the pack. 63. Kenny Spencer goes around this 3rd and 4th corner. We're going to tag by Dave Westgate as he has nowhere to go, and that's going to bring out
double zeros backwards here on the turn.
Gene Weston gets a little bit in the dirt. in the first corner. He goes around over there. Reversed as Albert Clements is your new leader. Jose Ferro sits second, and they're back underway. Clements again with a good jump. Ferro's a little slow getting started, but he's going now. Battling on the outside of Scott Serdinsky in that number 53 car, last week's feature winner. Jose Ferro goes around in that second corner. Everybody gets by. Mike Hope right behind him, and that number 9 just barely getting by. He gets the car going, and we stay under green.
Never even took it out of gear. Kept the wheel turning. Oh, look out, Jose.
Albert Clements coming up on Ferro, who is almost a full lap down. Now Rodriguez and Marcunia bringing him up high and let the leaders go by. Albert Clements still out front. Scott Serdinsky right behind. Jerry DeGasperri Jr. sits third. Mike Hope fourth. Gene Weston. Little slideways out of the corner sits fifth and double zero. Rounding out the 6 qualified cars right now is a 0-8 of Russ Bryant. Kenny Spencer sits seventh after his early spin. Working his way back up. Currently sits third in the point standings. Looking out the halfway point. Albert Clements 5 laps down. Mike Hope looks to the outside of DeGasperri. Gene Weston looks underneath Hope. We got a battle for that 4th spot. Rob Kohler in the number 4 spins into the infield down the front straightaway into the first corner. Gets that car refired and he's back underway. Russ Bryant still looking for a hole around the 0-0. Gene Weston. Kenny Spencer right on his bubble looking for a qualifying spot. Albert Clements comes down for 2 laps to go. Bryant gets a nose underneath Weston down the back straightaway there, side by side. Bryant trying to take over that 5th spot. A little bit of contact is made. Kenny Spencer gets underneath for that 5th spot. Here comes Bill Horse and that number 77. We got a 3-car battle for that last qualifying spot. Going into turn number 3 for the last time. Albert Clements out front. He's going to take this win second. Scott Serdinsky, Jerry DeGasperri, Mike Hope 4th, Kenny Spencer, Billy Horse rounds out the top 6. Remember, 6 cars qualify for the feature event. The rest will have to go into a consolation later on this evening.
The points race for the Street Stock division won't end tonight, but there is a points race that ends tonight. The Street Stocks will be going until next week. Tell us about the point situation.
Well, the points are tight. In a couple of divisions, Matt Dewey, your current leader in the Street Stocks, looks to have this one all sewn up, as he's got 98 points on his next competitor, which is Mike Camara. Kenny Spencer sits third, only 2 points out, so it's imperative that he qualifies for tonight. Sportsman's a little bit tighter. Bobby Leclerc in the 42, your current leader. He's got 36 points.
Sparky Arsenal's 96, Rob Rotundo in the 46. 01 Lou Rotundo and 02 is Matt Dewey. We're racing again. And to me that's confusing as heck to have, you know, one race and one race continue on. I don't think most people realize that. This is it. As the 116 of Jimmy Sylvia manages to hang on out there, the Portsmouth, Rhode Island 116. As he had a little rocky start getting hung up alongside Robert Demers. Now the 62 of Russ Tetro and that white number 62. He's moved into that second spot to stay. Dave Furtado in the 25 gets down underneath the 30 of Demers. Dave Furtado wants that 3rd spot. Nancy Sherman in the 67. Working hard, working hard to try to take over that 4th, 5th spot, the 05 of Flat. A lot of racing going on all around the racetrack as they so fast they can't even double up right now. We told you it's going to be a fast race. It is a fast race tonight. Track is cold and hard. As Jimmy Sylvia being challenged right now by Russ Tetro. Down the inside goes Tetro. Jimmy Sylvie on the 16, 116, trying to hanging in out there, stay in the lead. Russ Tetro on the 62 is second, as the 25 of Dave Furtado. Now the 62 of Tetro again gets up close. Furtado right behind him. The 30 of Rob Demers. Nancy Sherman in the 67, still managing to hold her position for fourth, fifth, and Eddie Plant is holding on to that sixth. The 96 and the 1 battling it out for the Louis Rotundo and Sparky Arsenal, yet to qualify with 2 to go. They have not moved up. They got to get, oh, there's that number 1 car really burning a tire. Lou Rotundo giving it all it's got, not quite enough to move up. Matt Dewey wants a piece of it down the backstretch as we're going with only a 1.5. Matt Dewey is right in there tight. Matt Dewey trying to hang on. Everybody gets pushed out as Dewey bombs his way through to take over a 7th spot, non-qualified. Here's your finish. Look at this. The 116, the 62, and the 25 all bunched up together. Then the 30 and Nancy Sherman and Plant finishing show. That's an afternoon show Saturday and Sunday, and they'll be back again next Saturday and Sunday to continue their quest for the number 1 position. So won't the sportsman division. Tonight we do crown the champion in the Pro Stars, because that's an open show coming up for them.
Okay, on the Speedway now, the first of 3 sportsman heat events, 12 laps of distance, 6 cars will qualify for the feature event. On the pole out of Pembroke, Mass, in the Jim's Garage, number 31, that's Jeff Goodrow. Outside of Jeff out of Swansea, Mass. And the Levesque Tree Service, number 13, is Richard McRae. Ronald Reed rolls off the field third out of Rehoboth, Mass. And the W.E. Trey around. And Al Rodriguez not happy with this start at all. Looks like we're going to have to try this again.
He didn't like that 31 the way that, jeez, everybody, get off the brakes, will you?
This time he likes what he sees and he waves a green flag. McRae with a good jump off the start, jumps out front. Goodrow trying to hold on to the inside. Dean Petty on the outside trying to take over that 2nd spot. Here comes Dave Titus and that number 2, Ronald Reed, with nowhere to go right now. Deep in the pack, Tom Scully and Bobby Leclerc need to qualify. They are battling 4 points tonight. McRae still holding the point as Jeff Goodrow gets a rhythm going on the inside. Back into 2nd. Dean Petty falls back to 3rd. Ronald Reed 6th spot. Billy Manchester 5th. Kenny Kohler and Dave Titus battle for that 6th spot as Titus is going backwards on the outside. Estrella sits underneath the 8 of Ed Gannon. Back in that 8th spot. Right now, 2 of the 3 top firemen still in an unqualified position. Have plenty of ways to go. As they make their quest for the Sportsman Championship. This time around, we're going to hit halfway. 6 laps down, 6 to go. Deep Petty, a little high coming up the corner. Kenny Kohler all over the back of Billy Manchester in that 95, looking for a hold. As he sits in that 6th and final qualifying spot, Ed Gannon and Dave Titus battling side by side for the last several laps in that 7th spot. Goodrow is put McRae as he looks for an opening. And still deep in the field, the 42 of Bobby Leclerc, the 7 of Tom Scully. Two to go this time around. Richard McRae opening up a bit of a lead. Dean Petty jumps into 2nd underneath the 31 of Goodrow, showing a little bit of smoke off the back of that car. Dean Connor Reed jumps into that third spot, and here comes Billy Manchester trying the hole again. 1 lap to go. And it looks like Bobby Leclerc and Tom Scully are going to have to go through the consolation event.
So Scott Estrella, he can't do it.
Coming out of 4 this time, Richard McRae is going to be a winner. Dean Petty still showing signs of smoke, going to finish second. Ronald Reed third. Billy Manchester, the 43 of Kenny Kohler, and the 31 event to go into the feature event. Coming out on the track now, the second sportsman heat event.
It looks like Tom is not even going to make it to the pits if he, unless, I hope that's only tire smoke, but it looks more serious. It looks like it's coming further up on the engine. Looks like, yeah, it's coming up from the front, Kev. I think Tom has got himself a severe problem with that 7 car. Tough break for Tom Scully.
Well, if I know that crew, they're going to work on that car feverishly and have it ready for the consolation. Could be just maybe some oil that have dripped out.
Let's hope that it's that or gaskets loosened up or something like that. A little oil on the manifold. Ken Colvin in that number 6 car from Malibu, the red, white, and blue automobile. I always think that's a Coast Guard vehicle for some reason. Whoa, does he get that 6 around sideways? Colvin got the 6 around sideways. Everybody had to back out of it momentarily. And not a happy spot to be behind him.
3 wide.
As with 3 wide, 4 wide in the turn. Look out, Shoemaker is in trouble. Shoemaker goes for a ride, and most everybody gets by him as Murray ends up with losing a little bit off the left front. The yellow is out, and Shoemaker is in doing a little bit of landscaping. It'll be a check of the 08 Murray and the 70 quickly as they come by to make sure. On the outside is Steve Taylor. Whoa, Taylor doesn't get it going. Taylor did not get it going. It's not tonight. That's the second or third time it's happened tonight. Taylor went right to the rear. Boom, jumped out of gear. And that gave Ray Alexander a chance to jump up that outside row before anybody else had a chance to figure out what was going on. Ray Alexander is in full flight. Alexander just takes over the lead. Whoa, is that number 4 got wings tonight? Look out, here comes the 21 of Corey Boudreau. Corey Boudreau going against Alexander. So is the 99, the junior's 99. 3 deep in the turn as Murray looks for a spot. Can't get by that 93 of Scott Fortier. Fast automobile, the 08 stuck in the rear. Cannot get by. Your leader is the 4 with the 21 of Boudreau in second at the halfway mark. Halfway now. As Paul Vaness in that 9 car battling it out with Colvin as the pair of them. Down the inside goes the 14 of Linwood Cowan. Look out, it's going to be tight in the turn. Hang on, we had trouble here before. Whoa, Colvin manages to hang on, and the 9 of Vaness gets squeezed way out 3 wide. Whoa. That inside row changing around. Look at this for the lead as Boudreau tackles the 4. We got racing everywhere. Boudreau and Alexander battling it out for the lead. And this is only a heat. Only a heat. And look at what's happening out there now. Boudreau trying to close the door. Alexander staying with him, letting him know that then hang on as the 14 gets tangled up with the 95, 96 car, and who came out of that the loss?
That's the 93 of Scott Fortier, who's sideways in the second corner.
Yeah, as they're at the line, Corey sets the pace, but Alexander pulls them down the main straightaway and takes over the green. Alexander pulled them coming out of the main straightaway, takes over the green with 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go. Alexander again has the lead. Boudreau not giving up. Trying to build up that momentum again. As the 6 car has a flat tire, I believe. White flag coming out as Boudreau continues to dog the 4 of Ray Alexander. Down the inside. Boudreau tries it. No. What a rivalry is developing out here between these 2. Cross the line. Ray Alexander, Corey Boudreau, the 14 of Linwood Cowan, the 50 no holds barred. It looks like it appears to be the premier division of Seekonk Speedway coming onto the racetrack right now. Who is going to be crowned the champion? It'll happen tonight. Kevin, the Pro Stocks.
Thank you, Jim. We still got 2 heats and a feature to go before we find out who will be champion of the 1995 season. In the first of 2 Pro Stock heat events on the pole out of Warwick, Rhode Island. In the Shannon View Inn home service, number 6, it's Norm Holden. Outside of Norm, out of Manville, Rhode Island. In the maid cleaning service, Majestic Homes Realty, number 27, is Danny Gamache. Wayne Newman will roll off 3rd. Norm Holden and Danny Gamache are going to bring around our Rodriguez. Rodriguez flag are underway. Holden gets a good jump. On the field, Danny Gamache drops back to 2nd. Chad Chase looking for a hole underneath Wayne Newman. Nothing there, though. He takes a quick trip into the dirt in the infield. Once again, Chad looking for a hole. Wayne Newman and Jeff Thompson clump together in the corner. A little bit of contact there. As Thompson jumps into that 3rd spot, Jimmy Kuhn jumps to 4th. Newman drops back to 5th. Here comes Tripp on the outside. Dan gets a nose underneath Chase as they go down the back straightaway. Chase moves to the outside. Dion underneath behind Wayne Newman. Newman has been going backwards. Dion looking for a hole as Tripp is moved past into that 5th spot to the outside of the 0-1. Jeff Thompson has moved up to the front. Danny Gamache makes a move on Norm Holden to the inside, down the back straightaway into turn 3. Holden slams on the brakes 3 wide to the corner. Everybody gets by. Holden trying to hold on to that outside groove. As Chad Chase goes underneath him. For that 5th spot coming off the halfway point, Danny Gamache is showing the way. 2nd, Jimmy Kuhn. Jeff Thompson, Bobby Tripp, Chad Chase, Norm Holden, Wayne Dion. Wayne Newman, Mike Bowler, Randy Bird, Johnny Tripp round out the field. Looks like he's got a severe push coming out of the corner, which means that car does not want to turn to jump into the straightaway. Wayne Dion finally getting by Holden into some clear traffic. Jimmy Kuhn and Jeff Thompson now battle for 2nd. Thompson has gone underneath Kuhn. Chase has gone underneath Tripp as they battle for that 2nd and 4th spot. Danny Gamache still showing the way with just a handful of left. Jimmy Kuhn trying the outside of Danny Gamache. Coming out of forward, just 2 laps to go. Gamache still showing the way. Thompson tries to make it 3 wide down the front stretch. Nothing there as he backs off. Once again tries it 3 wide as Jimmy Kuhn has got a nose out in front. Gamache still sits in 2nd. Bobby Tripp moves up to 3rd on the outside. Down the back stretch, Gamache a little sideways down the straightaway, gathers it back up. Coming out for the checkers, Jimmy Kuhn, Bobby Tripp, Danny Gamache, Jeff Thompson, Chad Chase, Wayne Dion, Mike.
There's only one street car seat today.
Only one?
That's what they told me.
Okay, thank you. Capaco jumps out to an early lead, but 3 wide down the back straightaway. Ray Lee out front. Here comes Lenny Ellis on the inside looking for a hole. As he tries to follow Lee out front, Capaco shuts the door. Cabaco trying to get back out front. Lenny Ellis sits third. George Rigo on the outside, back to fourth. Fifth is Tex Barry Jr. Rick Martin didn't get any time in that zero, so he's not sure how that car's going to end. But you can be sure he's going to drive the wheels off of that car. Ray Lee still showing the pace as Rich Capaco sits second, Lenny Ellis sits third. 12th Tex Barry's Steve Channing has moved up to fifth in that 23 car. Still showing the way. Tex Barry moves to the outside, but here comes Steve Channing underneath him. Flat fourth spot, side by side. Tex trying the outside. Tries to get a rhythm going. We cross the halfway point. Around goes the 87 of Mike Cavallaro. Rick Martin having to get on the brakes. And that's going to bring out the first portion of this Pro Stock Heat event. Late edition in this heat. Ways away, flag, we're underway. Lee gets a good jump. Back out front. Capaco follows behind in second. And here comes Tex Barry on the outside as he's trying to get by Lenny Ellis in that 41. Trying to make a run on the outside. He gets into third, looks to the outside of Capaco for second. Steve Channing in the 64, George Rigo still down the side by side, and here comes Rick Martin. Capaco gets a couple of wheels down in the dirt. But nobody losing any speed or any positions, as Capaco still stays in second. Barry a little bit on the binders there. Sits right behind in third, Lenny Ellis, Steve Channing in top five, Rick Martin. Now battling with George Rigo for that sixth spot. Coming out of forward, 2 laps to go. Ray Lee still showing the way. Barry trying to make it on the outside. Rich Capaco. Getting those inside, trying to take back over the third spot. With only a half a lap to go. It's going to be all Ray Lee. Rich Capaco second, third. It's going to be almost a dead heat between Barry and Ellis.
TLC truck service car, Jose Ferro in the 59 from Fairhaven. Remember, Jose would run around backwards in front of everybody. The 16 is Roland Wheeler from Fiskville. Mike Camara in the 86 from Southeastern. Chris McGee in that 24. Long one is going to be the big one for them. Here we go. Raining now. What happened to Scott LaBelle? He didn't start, huh? Scott LaBelle didn't take the flag, so that puts the 00 of Gene Weston on the pole. And Scott LaBelle didn't show. Scott LaBelle automatically becomes the last place. Hold on to that 21 as he does a little landscaping. In and out goes the 21 of Bob Bettencourt Jr. Your leader is the 00 Gene Weston. Gino's leading Sparky Arsenal's car number 96 and the 82 of Scott Sundin. 1, 2, 3. Almost 3 deep as the 41 of Pete Rhoda tries to get in under there. A lot of traffic. A warning on the 79, a warning to stay off the other guy's fenders. As the 00 Gene Weston continuing to show the way around. 21, Bobby Betancourt, not having a good night of it. He's getting desperate as he's got to get in there to qualify. Halfway, coming up. Desperation time is starting to set in for everybody back behind the front 6 runners. They will not have a shot at it if they don't get going. Right now, Lou Rotundo, he wants to get up in there. So does that 46 of Rob Rotundo and Betancourt. They've got very little time left. They've got to push it now. Can they do it? Can they get up into the running? Your leader is still the 00 with the 96 of Sparky Arsenal second. The 82 of Scott Sundin with 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go. As that 34 car of Ray LeBrun hanging on a 4th spot. The 41 of Pete Rhoda sitting in 5th. And look at Betancourt again stuck in there. As the 76 car, 79 car that is, of Billy Wilcox sitting in the qualifying position. Betancourt continuing to burn a tire. Desperation really as we come around for the finish, and it's all over. It's all over for everybody behind the 79. Unless somebody else doesn't start. It's all over for the 46 and the 1.
And Tom Scully, number 3 maiden points, do have to run the consolation event. Scott Estrella, Rob Murray, Joe Perry Jr. Numbers 5, 6, and 7 of points. Also in this consolation event, so everybody battling for position.
What do you do when they're going to open the gates?
No, that's good.
Yeah, she's got the radio on, so I can't.
Scott Estrella, Rob Murray, your front 2. Murray having problems on the start. As he falls back in the pack, Scott Estrella out front as we've got a spin on the back straightaway.
And a hit.
Number 7 of Tom Scully and a couple of other cars. Looks like it might be the 6 of Kenny Colvin and possibly the 93.
Colvin's left. The Sportsman Division, and yes, we're racing green. Scott Estrella gave it a great big jump. Rob Murray staying right with him. Joe Perry in the 3. And your point leader, Leclerc, in the 42, stays right up in there. They want to stay up in a qualifying spot. Paul Vanessa in the 53. Steve Taylor. Vanessa appears to be able to stay with Taylor. Taylor looking to qualify that automobile. Scott Estrella continuing the show. As Joe Perry gets a bit of a warning, stay off the back of Murray's back fender. Joe Perry in the 3. As Scott Estrella has the lead. Murray, 2nd. Perry 3rd, Leclerc's 4th in the 42. The 53 car of Steve Taylor. And the 7 of Tom Scully. I think we got 8 to qualify out of this one. I'm not sure. So that puts Scully and the 9 still in a qualifying position. As the 45 of Scott Estrella and the 08 of Murray at the halfway mark. Continue to roll. The 3 car. Joe Perry holding down as we looking for the first 8 across the line. I think we can get back to the 18 of Steve Ribby. Steve Ribby sitting there in that last qualifying position as we... Scotty Estrella is giving that 45 its head, allowing it to go. Murray appears to be saving himself just a little bit, staying up in front of Perry. 2 more to go as Scotty Estrella. 2 more to go, Scott Estrella pouring it on. 2 more to go for Murray. flag coming out. White flag coming out for Scott. And the white flag comes out. Scott Estrella down the backstretch. This is the consolation event. Now Joe Perry wide enough. Leclerc gets under him. His feeling is out a bit. Estrella wins it. Murray second. Leclerc third. Perry fourth. The 53 is fifth. Taylor, the 7, the 9, and the 18. The 3 coming up through. You don't suppose he's a Dale Earnhardt fan, do you? And of course, then there's the 8 of Steve Dulac. This is the TD4 truck division, and the green gets underway. Billy Clark finding time to get that number 1 truck back in operation again. Billy's been totally involved in the reconstruction of a house, and he's just worn out, but he's got that number 1 out in front now. Always finds time to get something done on the truck. That's the he's been patient, just working on that house night and day. As that 24, Ray Sodier, Rainbow 24, up around the outside, the Jeff Gordon colored car. Going after Clarkey now is Sodier in that 24. Clarkey's Ford screaming, trying to stay ahead of that automobile. Shady Tree Auto Sales Chevrolet. The 24 is a Chevy. Clarkey's driving that overhead cam Ford, the number 1. There goes the 7 getting under Vernon Belcher. Got under Joe Putnam, as Joe Putnam appeared to be a little bit surprised by it. Now the 24 comes in on Billy Clark again. Halfway, Billy Clark and the 24, Ray Sodier, leading it. As Vernon Belcher in second spot, third spot. The 0 is Joe Putnam, and the 3 is Jeff Carter. Billy Clark continues to be challenged by the 24 as Billy is leading Ray around in a pretty good rough and tumble run. Billy is staying there on that inside row. Ray is having to throw that 24 up and about. Ray Sodier continuing to drive that 24, but he cannot get it down into the groove where the slow distance is. The short distance is on the inside. That's what Billy Clark is, and that's where your lead is right now in that number 1 with 1 more to go. 1 more. Coming by. 1 more for Billy Clark. 1 more to go. Down the back, Billy Clark in his Formula 4 pickup truck. Billy Clark out of the turn. Ray Sodier chasing him hard. Here we go across the line. It's Billy Clark. Ray Sodier second. Third is the number 7 of Vernon Belcher. Fourth is the 3 of Jeff Carter. The 0 finishing 5th. And the 92 finishing in. Say good evening, Pete.
Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a tremendous night of racing indeed. It's a cool one, Saturday night, September 30th. But this is it. This is where the championship will be decided. You'll be sitting on the edge of your seat, guaranteed. And of course, you can tune in to CBI Sports during the week. So call your local cable company if you don't think that you got it. Hopefully, we're going to see a great one tonight. So enjoy.
Thank you, Pete. Thank you, Pete. And right now, we're getting ready to go. The word is out. Keep things moving right along as fast as we can. We're not trying to take anything away from you. We're giving you all the racing that we can, but having very little ceremony as Mother Nature.
Yes.
We want to keep racing on through the end of the month. But this is our last of the Saturday night shows.
Outside of Mike, out of Raynham, Massachusetts, in the Whedon chassis, Chico, Precision Racing Engines, Belden's Auto Pair, number 31, it's Todd Henshaw. Starting in the 15th position, driving the ABC floor covering Grand Excavating, New England Sanitation, number 80, it's Johnny Tripp. Outside of John, the only 4-time winner in the 95 season. In the Motion Motors Incorporated, RS Equipment, J. Fort and Concrete Forms, LaCavasowers, number 18, it's Tex, Barry Jr. Starting 17th on the field out of Middleborough, Mass. In the Mummit Motor Products, Cape Auto Body, Ron Burr Carpentry, number 44, it's Randy Rodriguez. Bring him down, and the green flag is out, and we're underway.
Tonight's racing will decide the Pro Stock Championship for 1995. And this
Capaco trying to get a good jump on the front. Rigo looking for a hold underneath Gamache. Nothing there. Gamache runs down low. Into second. Chad Chase moves to the high side. Takes over third. Looks to the outside of Gamache. Looking for a hold.
Race indeed, because this will determine the Pro Stock Championship.
Looks like the 31 of Todd Henshaw slow down the back straightaway. He gathers it back up under. He stay under green. Capaco still showing the way. Chase running the outside, sits in second. Danny Gamache on the outside, though. Here comes Lenny Ellis and Steve Channing in that 23. Bobby Tripp keeping a close eye on everybody. He doesn't have to win, but he's got to finish right there behind everybody else. Chase to the outside of Capaco, side by side down the back straightaway, and Chad Chase has the lead.
Chad Chase.
Capaco trying to hold on to the inside. He's got nothing there. Chase shuts the door. Chase is your leader. And that's exactly what everybody else is doing right now. They're chasing him. As he tries to open up the lead over the field. Capaco sits second. Gamache third. Fourth is Ray Lee. Rick Martin on the number 0, moving high on the side. We got 3 wide down the back straightaway. Jimmy Kuhn. And Steve Channing makes 7. Channing goes around on the straightaway. He gets into the 26. As we've got a caution. Sid Houlihan is also involved. And the 57 of Wayne Newman slowing up. As we've got a little flash fire underneath the 23 as he gets that car refired. Tough break for Steve Channing. Chase quickly jumping back out front. Danny Gamache, little push through the corner, sits in third. Capaco drops back to second. Ray Lee running the outside, trying to work his way to the front. Bobby Tripp gets ahead of Wayne Dion as he works his way to the front, looking for his 4th feature victory in the 95 season.
Black car, Ray Lee.
Channing stuck deep in the pack, stuck in traffic. Wants to work his way to the front. He's got 1 win, wants to make it 2. And make that one a special. He wants that championship. Lenny Ellis and Danny Gamache running side by side. Gamache has got the edge. As Gamache sits in third, Lenny Ellis trying to get a momentum going on the outside. Ray Lee to the outside of Capaco. Side by side, he wants that front spot.
Kevin Lawrence will back in, is falling off in front of Channing.
Bobby Tripp has moved past the 64 of George Rigo, right behind Lenny Ellis. He wants to win this race and win this championship. Noam Holden in the number 6 going into the pits.
Now we got word that the 6 car, Noam Holden, has gone to the pits. 41.
Bobby Tripp works the outside of Lenny Ellis. Side by side, they battle for 5th. Lenny trying to hold on to anything he can. A little bit of contact in the back. Jeff Thompson gets underneath Dick Houlihan, and that one as he moves to the outside. Rick Martin, Wayne Dion battling for position. Todd Henshaw on the number 30 goes around on the front straightaway into the first corner, and once again we're going to go back under caution. Well, right now, Al Rodriguez waves a good flag. We're back underway. Chase trying to hold on out front, but here comes Ray Lee on the outside. Ray Lee trying to grab that front spot. Side by side through the corner. Chad Chase on the inside trying to hold on. Ray Lee holding on the outside. Side by side they are. Capaco looking for any hole that he can find. Sits third. Lenny Ellis moves up to 4th. Gamache falling back on the outside. Bobby Tripp moves up to 5th. Looking to sew his championship up. He gets a little bit of contact there from the 27 of Danny Gamache. Able to gather it back up, now lose any position. A little bit of track time left behind the front leaders. Chad Chase showing the way around. Ray Lee in second. Third, the double zero, Chris Caparco, fourth.
Driving his hard out.
Here comes Rick Martin on the outside. Currently battling the outside of George Rigo in the 64 as Rigo is dropping back just a bit. Wayne Dion frustrated, sits right behind him. Steve Channing has moved his way through the pack. But Bobby Tripp sits fifth on the field. If that's where he can finish, he's going to win the 1995 three wide down the front straightaway. Wayne Dion backing out, nothing there.
We're almost trying to block them both.
Wayne Dion nowhere to go, getting frustrated as he's falling back in the pack.
Has not changed now in several laps.
But Chad Chase still shows the way around. Second is Ray Lee. Bobby Tripp to the outside of Lenny Ellis for that fourth spot. He wants to win this one in a bad way. He's got fourth. He's looking at the outside of Caparco. Side by side they are. Motoring on the outside. Tripp has moved up to third. He sets his sights on Lee. The way Bobby Tripp's running, it's going to be tough to beat him in the points tonight. Bobby Tripp running tremendously well. Moving high, moving low, being able to run anywhere he goes. Rick Martin sets his sights on Mike Bowler, tries the inside, tries the outside. We've got 10 laps to go.
Number 88 car.
Chad Chase still showing the way around, but he doesn't have much time. Channing goes around to the front straightaway. Gets sideways, everybody gets by. Loses about 2 positions. Wayne Dion gets caught right behind him.
Zero gets by, look out.
Rick Martin gets by Bowler, but Bowler gets into him, gets him a little high, but Martin holds on. Jockeying for position deep in the pack, but out front it's Bobby Tripp on the outside to the outside of Chad Chase. Side by side, if Trippy can win this, he's going to win the championship. Side by side through the corner.
Seekonk Speedway.
Bobby Tripp wants to win the race and win the championship all at the same time, deep in the pack. Steve Channing and Wayne Dion nowhere to go as they're caught in traffic.
I'll watch them.
Approach turn 4 down the front.
But Chad Chase trying to hold on for the win. Chase been close a couple of times this year. Bobby's got 3 wins to his credit. This time around we got 5 laps to go. Chase holding on the inside. 5 to go. Trippy wants the outside. He tries to get a run. We got debris on the track as a piece of debris is coming off one of the cars. As these cars are trying to get to the front.
99 is hung up with 10 there.
Wayne Dion behind traffic, nowhere to go. Can't get by anybody. Walk definitely not on his side this year as he's deep in the back. And he goes around on the back straightaway into the third turn. Everybody gets by, but we're going to go back under caution. Wayne trying to get by some of the slower traffic, just couldn't. Bobby Tripp on the outside, doesn't want him to. Green flag is out, we're back underway. Channing gets a half a car length there, John Tripp, but Tripp on the outside, down the back straightaway, side by side through the corner. Tripp, they're nose to nose on the straightaway, 3 laps to go. Bobby Tripp wants to win this race. They're side by side. Trippy's been in before in many races this year. Chase wants his first win through the corner. 2 laps to go. It's Chase by a nose. Down the back straightaway, they're side by side. Channing by a nose. 2, 3, and 4. I'm sorry, that's Chad Chase down to the white flag. It's Chad Chase by a nose. 2, 1, and 2 for the final time. Down the back straightaway they go, side by side. Trippy looking for some momentum. Coming out of turn number 4, they're side by side. And it's going to be Chad Chase taking down his first ever Pro Stock champion, Pro Stock feature win.
Takes the checkered flag, but I'll tell you what, sucking the...
Number 88 is going to be your Pro Stock champion. He will be crowned in just a couple of moments. up in Victory Lane. He'll be there along with Chad Chase. And the pair that goes apply, Precision Racing Engines, T. Cabral Electric, KS Signs, and East Coast Screen Printing, Almax Diner, L&L's Used Auto Parts, J&R Precast, Regal Floor Covering, Harmon's Getty, Rayline Sheet Metal, Alice's Restaurant, LeCavalier Brothers Auto Supply, number 9, our feature winner tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a big round of applause for Chad Chase.
Bobby Tripp, 1995 Pro Stock Championship.
Overshadowing that, though. He was in a points battle a few years ago, not in the Pro Stocks, but in the Sportsman division. It came down to him, Chad Chase, and one other gentleman by the name of Mike Haskell down at the last night, and these gentlemen definitely familiar with each other, running together. Chad Chase coming out on top tonight, but coming out the victor in the year, Bobby Tripp.
I'll get it for you.
And he'll be over there in Victory Lane in just a few minutes. That's where the actual crowning of the championship will be at Victory Lane when everything has been checked out and verified. So that'll be taking place over in Victory Lane, folks, so that's the place to be next. Right now we've got Sportsman feature to go, and Street feature, and some Formula 4s, and a whole lot more. And right now the Almax Diner special, as Chad Chase very, very happy to win this final point race. Okay, we've fought long and hard, and this division's point race has not come to a close. As we continue on through Saturday and Sunday of next week. You're up. You can talk. You own the place. You can talk. Ain't that? What do you get to give away tonight, ain't it? Down here without coming down. Jeff Goodrow in the 31 takes the green. Rich McRae in that 13. He wants to get up front and close the door, but can't quite get out there to do it. McRae could not quite edge ahead enough to do it. Manchester in the 95 is way out wide. As Manchester in the 14 car, Linwood Cowan, looking for spots to go, and a little rough back there. A lot of roughness took place right in that whole section of drivers. Laurie Boudreau looks like he wants to make it 3 deep. As the 08 Murray around backwards on the backstretch, and the 70 of Lawton making contact with the wall and losing the front end on that car. The 70 of Glenn Lawton having to avoid the 08 and touches the wall. As we get the green again, Richie McRae, and look around the outside as Dave Titus tries to do it with the 2. Can't quite get around the outside of Goodrow. Robert Clark on the 96 around sideways, straightens it out. As the 57 car looks for a place to go, he goes around the outside, and so does the 4. That 4 car very quickly. Ray Alexander has moved up through the pack as the 95 having trouble getting around the racetrack in a straight line. Bobby Clark having all kinds of trouble with that 95. Alexander now moves in under the 57 car. As he moves in under the 57, the big 4 automobile, Ray Alexander, sitting in 4th spot, up to the outside of Titus. Alexander moves to the outside of Titus. He's got the 4 in motion. Your leader is Rich McRae with Goodrow in the 31 running in 2nd spot. There goes the 4. Out of the turn, the 4 moves up to 3rd. Ray Alexander moving it up as fast as he can. As he comes in on Titus, a little close. Ray Alexander driving a Will he try the inside on the 31? As Titus tries to close the door on him, Alexander takes full possession of that inside row. Down the inside. Has he got room? No. Goodrow closes the door. Yellow is out. Yellow is out as the 43 automobile gets around backwards. Ken Kohler Jr. around back. Follows McRae through. He'll be trying to keep Goodrow out. Here comes Taylor coming out. Whoa! Titus and Goodrow get together. And somebody go around backwards here in the turn.
It looks like the 31 and not before Glenn Lawton in the 70. Gives a shot himself.
And what about this guy over here?
Certainly. Titus in the 2 becomes a sandwich.
Looks like the 57 automobile of Dean Petty got caught in with part of it too. The 57 had some, there's the 53 going back in.
Between turn 3 and
Petty was driving down throwing a lot of smoke, so evidently he's got part of his body jammed up against it someplace. That happens. Look out. Green and going.
We're back underway. We've got green. And the race is on between McRae and the 13 car. Ray Alexander, then yellow number 4, and we've got
We have got mega damage to everybody out here. Mega damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 cars, and the 99, who was involved in the very heart of it all, he kept on going. But he's got bits and pieces hanging everywhere.
Rob Murray involved again in the yellow.
He's got bits and pieces hanging everywhere. Next Sunday. So Dana Willis may have problems, maybe going back in again. Dana Willis in the 55 heading back into the pits with all kinds of
Ray
smoke.
Alexander. Wow, look
And look at the 4 automobile. Ray Alexander and the Bow Brothers Hollister number 4 takes off.
Ray Alexander did that right there.
Not for too long. That's the way I do it.
Ray Alexander, who's had a terrible year as far as points is concerned, leading it right now at halfway mark.
Halfway through this sports division race.
Now the challenge is Estrella right on the tail of
Estrella.
Scott Estrella wants to make as many points as he can on Corey Boudreau right now as he gets around the outside of the 95. The 13 McRae, Joe Perry getting around that 96 automobile. Here comes the 42 as Bobby Leclerc has finally worked his way up through the traffic. Bobby Leclerc, the present point leader with 10 to go. Here comes Leclerc up through. Leclerc is your point leader in the infield. Here's the 31. He gets waved back in again.
This is the battle at the moment.
Estrella in that 45 car, getting down underneath McRae in the
Estrella gets by the McRae, and Estrella takes over second spot, going after the 4. That flying 4 automobile. As the black flag comes out for the 31. The 31 of Goodrow gets the black flag. The 4, the Bow Brothers 4. Ray Alexander holding on. Estrella trying to close the distance. Helen moving that 12 car, trying to get that up through. He wants to stay in competition. Corey Boudreau in that 21 car still stuck well in the back of the pack. Linwood Cowan way out wide. And look at who's moved right in to compete with Alexander now is Scott Estrella.
The race is going on hot and heavy between Alexander and Estrella on the 45.
Estrella closing in deep into the turns.
Every time he gets close though, Tom, Alexander seems to have that much more power to get ahead.
Estrella right into the turns with him. Alexander pulls him down the main straightaway. It's tight. Alexander knows he's there all of a sudden.
Now, Ray Alexander
With two to go. Ray Alexander. Scott Estrella.
His nearest competitor, which is Scott Estrella in the 45 row. Estrella down the back stretch. Alexander down on the inside.
Here we go for the white flag. The white flag as Ray Alexander continues to haul the nose of the 45 around. Down the backstretch. Alexander still has Estrella. Into the fourth turn. Out of the fourth turn, your winner, Ray Alexander. As he gives it his traditional slide across the line. It's Ray Alexander from Barrington, Rhode Island, with Scott Estrella finishing second. Mr. Ray Alexander, the winner of that one. Boy, was that thing hooked up tonight. Was that thing hooked up. Bobby Pellin Jr. did not finish as well as he wanted to. Scully did not finish.
Great job indeed.
Boudreau finished, but not as well as he wanted. Scott Estrella finishing in second spot. He'll move up from fifth, very, very far up through the points. We'll see how much further up he went tonight, as it'll all be decided next Saturday and Sunday afternoons. Starting time is 12 o'clock. We'll be getting underway. We'll be opening the gates at 11. You certainly may.
Thank you.
All right. Remember, don't hire a babysitter. Our gift to you, children 12 and under, as we celebrate the 50th year of the Seekonk family with a family spot in that 86 car.
Yeah, you know, I mean, everybody's cool. You know,
Looks like he has almost 100 points, though, to catch him. So we'll see what happens.
I got a call. That's when I was doing.
As this
9:30,
points race winds on
10
down.
a.m. And I just slept, and I got a call like 1:20 from the overnight guy saying, "Well, I believe you're supposed to be here." Oops.
Is that at HCY?
Yeah. Oops. Look at this thing.
I did that at ACE in Chicopee. I did that at ACE in Chicopee, and the engineer put it on. I did that at WACE in Chicopee. The engineer put it on. He didn't call me for 3.5 hours. Stereo. Here's the green as we begin our street feature event. Guy Workman.
This is CBI Sports coverage on Pete Silva.
Jim Sylvia. Hold on to that 63 as Spencer in the 63 gets in on the racetrack. We're still underway. And Jim Sylvia in that 116 has the lead. Chris Roberts in the 91 looking to get down underneath. Sonny Clements in the 72 trying for the hole.
116 of Jim Sylvia. You're our current leader of this midfield, 91 car. Now, Tom, I believe, for all intents and purposes, the points
And that
championship
116, Jim Sylvia.
Yeah, pretty much, man.
Running in second spot, it's Guy Workman hanging in there.
600.
Sonny Clements looking for a way through in the 72 car. Sonny looking for a way underneath. Hold on, there's somebody getting ready to go in the pits. Sonny Clements squeezing that 72 for all it's worth. Hold on to the 62 sideways. And Furtado had to look for a long ways with that 25 around sideways. He got it squared away, kept on going. Robbins in trouble. Robbins keeps dropping off the racetrack right in front of the 38 of Keith Moreau. Robbins keeps dropping off. Keith Moreau looks like he wants to get by, but Robbins trying to keep the door closed. Your leader is Jimmy Sylvia. Jimmy Phil Sylvia in the lead in that 116 KAR car. Pete Fernandez in the 26 car down the inside. Pete Fernandez 26. Trying to take away that next spot. Jim Sylvia has the lead. Guy Workman in the 80 running in second spot, and Sonny Clements. Look at the 3 deep in the turn. 3 deep in the turn, and Furtado off the track back on again. As Hamasi Harmon Havasu Harmon gets through.
Yeah, I see some British royalty and decided to raise the street signs.
Of course, Scott now Racing is as red-blooded American as it gets.
Jimmy Sylvia with the 80 car of Guy Workman.
I believe that was the 26 and now the 77 car.
77, oh, the 79 gets into him. And we got debris all over the racetrack, debris all down the main straightaway as the 77 sitting on the track backwards, and debris all over the main straightaway.
Hooked up a little bit, went sideways and recovered.
Well, we got to get the service truck. We don't even see it. It must be still in the pit.
77 car.
We got a lot of debris out here. Green flag, we're racing again. Everybody was caught asleep.
We are back underway here at Seekonk Speedway, the Street Stock Division, Saturday night, September 30th. For CBI Sports on Pete Silva, Tom Ring is along with us. And of course, John Morgan, our track reporter there. You see Jim Sylvia in the 116. Back in the lead.
Halfway mark for these streeters. Halfway. And Jim Sylvia has managed to hold on all by himself. Guy Workman gets that around backwards.
I believe, no, excuse me.
That was 30 Demmers hit the wall, just touched the wall.
Second in the number 80 car.
As Guy Workman all by himself lost it coming up. No place to be standing. Right there on that starting stand.
Getting ready to go. We got the green. Sylvia in the 116 comes ahead, way up behind 38 of Keith Morrow. Right
Keith Moreau giving the Jim Sylvia 116. Look at this, into the turn. Something's going to give out there. 4 wide, and look out. Bang! Hard hit. Hard hit for the 30. The 30 straight in hard. Bobby Demers in there straight in hard. He's bringing his cage down. He's okay. He took his cage down. He's okay. Bobby Demers from Rochester, Mass. Danny's Auto, New Bedford, Three Flags Restaurant, Jim Sega Signs. Robbie Demers from New Bedford. And there it is. As Keith Moreau, right in behind Sylvia. Look at Sonny Clements. Oh, on the backstretch. Furtado backwards. And it's going to be a head-on crash, a hard hit. And we got debris everywhere, a hard hit into Furtado.
I can't get a handle on that number, Tom. I don't know if you can.
25 was the first one.
Number 1 car.
25 is the first one.
Rotundo on that back straight. He went into a spin and then got plowed. He really got hit hard, bringing us under another caution. And again, another huge.
They hit the gas, he waves a green for underway. Sylvia jumps off the front. Sylvia again looked like the 38 of Keith Moore, got a little bit sideways in the speedy dry off the corner. That enabled Sylvia to grab a 3-car length lead on that straightaway. Chris Robinson got a hold on the outside. Havasu Harmon currently runs 4th on the field. He started back in the 15th spot, been able to work his way up. Just a handful of laps left, sits 4th on the inside of Chris Robbins. Robbins tied off the 4th corner. As we got a little bit of contact, that's the 67 and Nancy Sherman spinning into the infield along with the 77 and Billy Austin. He keeps going. Nancy's out of harm's way. She's got it going. She'll be coming out onto the track in front of the leaders. She brings a high out of harm's way, and we stand the read. Havasu Harmon down on the outside of Clements. For that 3rd spot, he wants to take down another one in that number 40 car. Side by side down the back straightaway they go. Scott Seredinsky, last week's feature winner, sits 5th, looking for any whole little opening. Coming down Jim Sylvia, your leader, 5 laps to go. Morrow holding out to second. Havasu Harmon on the outside. He's got a nose ahead of Clements. He's side by side now with Keith Morrow for that 2nd spot. This time around, there's just 4 laps to go. Don't know if he's got enough time. Morrow a little bit sideways. Clements tries underneath. Nothing there. Here comes Seredinsky on the outside. Havasu Harmon sits 2nd on the field. Hunting down the 116 of Jim Sylvia. Jim started on the outside pole. Current leader, a little sideways off the corner, throwing it out. Harmon gains a couple of car lengths. He's on his bumper now, 2.5 laps left. We'll see if Harmon's got enough time. Seredinsky trying the outside of Clements. trying to get a rhythm going. Coming out of Fort Sylvia with 2 laps to go. Hyman runs second. Morrow, Clement, Serdinsky in top 5.
Challenging indeed.
Down back straightaway, nothing there. He stays behind him through 3 and 4.
116 is Sylvia.
Sylvia, last time he threw it through the corner a little sideways. This time also, but not as bad. Allows Hyman to stay right behind. Hyman gives him a little left tap through the corner. Going down the back straightaway. Hyman still sits in second. Coming out of turn number 4. Sylvia a little high. And he's sideways and he just barely gets the win. Barely. Jim Sylvia takes down the win. Second. The number 40 of Amasi Hunden in a last-ditch effort to take the win. Number 116. Ladies and gentlemen, give him a round of applause for Jim Sylvia.
Really puts the pedal to the metal on his way to that start-finish line. And just literally by inches, Jim Sylvia in the 116 on the outside lane takes the checker flag. Do you see him taking his victory lap?
Yeah, Sylvia did a great job. He got that car sideways, hung on to it, was able to get ahead of him.
Tough break.
On the next finish.
Amasi Hunden making a last-ditch effort, trying to take down that win. Nothing there.
In the points race, I believe.
Nothing there.
He really
As Sylvia holds on to the lead, he'll be up in victory lane in just a couple of moments.
wrestled his way in.
Up there now, Ray Alexander finishing up his photograph opportunity. Outside of Bobby out of Attleboro, Mass. And the Fabritech BNC machine. Industriac pump, number 55 is Eric Byrne. 7th on the field out of Pawtucket, Rhode Island, and the Precision Foundation, State Line Recycling Redemption Center. One stop auto repair, 3D rigging. Number 47 is John Belmont. Outside of John out of Westport, Mass. And the Juniors Auto Supply Fishing Vessel X-Terminator. Number 43 is Jessica Manchester. Dana Sabre, Scott Fitzgerald, Tom Furtado, Mike Holiak, and James Day. That's the way they started. We're underway. The 14 of Gavlik falling back quickly on the start. Falling deep into the back. That allows Howard Bishop in the number 3 to jump out front. We got a car sideways on the back straightaway.
01.
That looks like the 01 car for Billy Shelburne. And the other car sideways in the 3rd corner. That's the 44 of James Day. And that brings out the caution.
Oh, flat tire on the 33.
Looks like our throw in the 33's got a flat right front tire. He'll have to bring that car into the pits.
Vinny won.
He likes what he sees. He waves a green flag and we're underway. Eric Byrne going 3 wide out on the front straightaway. In that number 55, trying to work his way to the front. Not working though as he loses a handful of positions. Dana Sabre in that 78 jumps out 3 wide along with him. He's passed a couple of cars. 4 wide down the front straightaway. Dana on the high side. Working his way towards the front. He's up to that 5th spot already. But Howard Bishop in that number 3 trying to check out on the rest of the field. Linda Henshaw trying to hold on to second in that 27th third. The 52 of Bobby Avila. Dana Avery still on the high side, takes over the 4th spot on the outside of Jessica Manchester. As he sets his sights on the front 3 cars, Howard Bishop checking out as he's got a half a straightaway lead on the rest of the field. Avery now setting his sights on Robert Avila in the 52 as he runs the high side. Jessica Manchester now tries the high side. She tries the outside of the 08. Nothing there. The 08, that's Dick Cavallero. Linda Henshaw a little sideways through the corner. She loses a bunch of spots down the back straightaway. She drops back to that 6th position. As we cross the halfway point, 5 laps down, 5 laps to go. Dave Gavlik, the outside pole sitter, runs deep in the back of the pack. As he's having problems with that, Howard Bishop still pulling away. Dana Avery now on the outside of Avila in that 52, side by side they are. Don't know if Avery's got enough to catch Bishop. I'm sorry, that's Eric Snow in the 83 has moved up to that 4th spot. He's got them quite quickly. Goes underneath Savory for 3rd. He's still stuck behind Mavia. Nothing there as Savory goes to the outside. It's a side-by-side battle for that 2nd spot. It's a 3-car battle. Snow looking for any hole that opens up as they've only got a lap to do it. Snow trying 3-low down the front straightaway. He's got that spot underneath. Avila goes high through the corner. Savory almost gets contact. Howard Bishop, you winner. 2nd, Eric Snow. Savory 3rd. Avila 4th. Cavallera. And rounding out the top 6 is the number 15 of Pat Marino.
Very tremendous.
Bishop checking out from the initial green. And Eric Snow coming up.
But he's the up-and-coming one in line that wants to come up. He's been waiting 3 years to get on that stand. Just to stand there.
I was on the road in a van, and we got snowed out of the gig. Couldn't even get to the gig. We were lucky to get to the hotel. We got to the hotel around 11 o'clock.
As the winner makes his way down the back stretch, we're going to get ready to go with the A feature. There's the A and the C feature and the B feature. There's no difference as far as quality or whatever the standings are concerned. It's just the nomenclature. So they do, each week they do a different feature first. This week they did the B feature first. And the next one's going to have Richard Duffy from Warwick, Rhode Island. Blackstone Whooping Car. He's going to be on the pole in car number 19. Barry Shaw from Holbrook in the 85. Georgie Tripp from Somerset in the 45 with Mike Butts in the 63 from North Dartmouth. Kenny Casper is going to be out here in the Somerset number 28. Stan Sherman from Lakeville in the 20. Robin Sloan in the 37 from Seekonk with Pat McCrowan from Berkeley in the 65. Robert Luongo in number 21 from Fall River. Wayne King Jr. from Cranston in the 56. Bobby Blanchett in that fast number 82 Benz engine Rumford, Rhode Island automobile. Richie Berry from Central Village, Connecticut in the 05. Jerry Berthollet from North Smithfield in the 4. Dave Banville in the 81, Somerset, Massachusetts. Kevin Casper in the green and going. One more. Feature event gets underway in the Formula 4 features. As Barry Shaw has that 85 really motivated. Look out for the 48. The 48 gets a little bit out of control. The 45, that is, I guess. Georgie Tripp. Georgie Tripp has a little problem with that 45 through the turns as he backs off. It gets nose heavy. It comes right around. Remember, that's a front-wheel drive automobile. Barry Shaw continuing to lead as Billy Scholler running in second. Way up high goes the 28. Kenny Casper way up high. I don't know if he's making any ground, but he's driving a long distance to get there. Down the inside goes Billy Scholler in the 84. Billy Scholler sliding in. Here comes the 21. That 21 car started way, way, way back there, and he has worked his way up through. That's Robert Luongo. Robert Luongo is now running in 3rd spot as Kenny Scholler has the lead. Mark Cunha says it's halfway, halfway. The 20 into the infield, back out again. Rough ride. Bobby Luongo still sitting in 3rd spot in that 21 car as Billy Scholler has the lead. Second is the 85 of Barry Shaw. Trying to get up through is the 92 and all of the others behind him. As the faster cars sitting in the back. The 81 of Dave Banville. He's trying to squeeze up in there. Dave Banville in the 81, knocking them off one at a time. He goes in very, very deep, makes it 3 high. Is it worthwhile as he stays on the outside of the 63? Mike Butts gets passed by Banville. Mark Cunha says 2 laps to go. 2 to go for the 84, Scholler. 2 to go is Luongo. Luongo passes Barry Shaw. Luongo passing Shaw. White flag will be coming out this time. White flag comes out. Marconia says 1 lap to go. Robert Luongo sitting in second spot. Barry Shaw is third. Shola continuing to show the way around. And the 81 Banville gets tangled up with the 4. And that costs him some points. Here's your winner. The winner is the 84, Billy Scholler in second spot. It's Luongo. Third spot's gonna go to the 85 Shaw. And that's the way the 8.
In the other race.
Oh, he had him in the other. Was he in this race?
Yeah.
No wonder you couldn't find him. He had him in the wrong race. She doesn't care, you know.
I know.
She does not care. So Billy Scholler takes that 84 around, the Waterford, Rhode Island driver. Very, very aggressive tonight. And you have to say a lot about the way the Luongo brought that 21 up through the traffic. And he got up in there. Dave Banville was doing quite well until he got tangled up with a couple of other cars. And he went back a bit. But I think we'll be seeing more of Bobby Luongo from Fall River in that 21 car coming up next week, Kevin.
He's a tough competitor each and every week, and
You two can do it yourselves.
we look forward to him winning, hopefully soon. Only one race left on the season, so we'll see what he can do next week. Coming out next, our final feature event of the evening, the C Formula 4 race on the pole out of Warwick, Rhode Island will be the Symmetrics. T&J Home, number 38 for Gary Shelwood.
She said we
But
could do this
before we bring him
ourselves.
out, Billy Scholler.
I could have not helped this.
I guess
Starting on the outside pole out of Johnson, Rhode Island, in the AMP Auto Salvage, number 62 is Pat Fitzgerald. Paul Guimont starts third. He hails from Cumberland, Rhode Island, in the Village Kennel, number 24. Jonathan Bradshaw starts fourth out of Taunton, Mass, in the Crystal Clear Pool Water, number 31. Starting fifth out of Warwick, Rhode Island, the J&D Auto Salvage, number 26 for Tom Kiefer Jr. Outside of Tom, out of Manamet, Massachusetts, the Only Insurance, number 64 for Nancy Rigo. Starting seventh out of Providence, Rhode Island, in the Pond View Excavating, number 18 is Skip Potter. Outside of Skip out of Pawtucket, Rhode Island, in the 3D Rigging, number 8. Your front row. Points at the line, he's got the green flag in his right hand, he waves it, and we're underway. Fitzgerald on the 12 with a good 62 with a good jump over the field. Sherwood and Bradshaw battles for position. Paul Guimont certain. We've got a car high on the back straightaway in the third corner. Climbed over the back of another car, able to get it underway. Still a four-car battle out front as here comes the 31 of Jonathan Bradshaw. Paul Guimont in the number 24 runs the outside.
Dave Brakeman that took that ride, I think. No, 16. Yeah, is that Dave Brakeman?
Coming out of turn number 4. 2 laps complete. Jonathan Bradshaw in the number 31. Shaw dropping back just a bit. Running second right now, the 62 of Pat Fitzgerald. But here comes Paul Guimont on the outside. Cheryl Doobie makes a bid for that fourth spot. On the inside, she's working her way to the front. Banville with a still 10-car length lead over the rest of the field. Second, the 62 of Pat Fitzgerald. Guimont sits third, fourth. Here comes Cheryl Doobie. A couple of cars getting together. That's the number 16, I believe, of David Brightman spinning into the infield.
Been there before.
Coming out of turn 4, though, coming out for the halfway point. It's all David Banville. Cheryl Doobie makes a bid underneath Guimont. For that third spot, Guimont still trying the high line around Fitzgerald. Having some problems. 3 wide down the back straightaway. Doobie and Guimont make a sandwich out of Fitzgerald. Doobie moves into that second spot, sets her sights on the leader. She's still got a ways to go and just a handful of laps to do it. Banville through the corner, still setting the pace. Here's your leader, Doobie, getting underneath the 16, which is a lap car of David Brightman as he sits in the way of traffic. Going into 3 and 4. 2 laps to go this time around for Banville. Still setting the pace. Doobie trying to hunt them down. Maybe not enough time. Three wide down the back straightaway. Fitzgerald getting underneath the 16. Guimont tries to go, nothing, and because they come together, the 16 goes around. The white flag is out, though, for Banville. Banville down the back straightaway for the final time. Coming out of turn number 4 for the victory. It's the number 31 of David Banville, second. The number 8 of Cheryl Doobie. Pat Fitzgerald finishes third. Guimond fourth. And I believe the number 72 of Mike Lopes rounds out the top 5. In the 31 taking down the victory out of Taunton, Mass. Drives a crystal clear pool water, citywide auto glass, Minuteman Masonry, number 31. I apologize to everybody as I was calling him Scott Banville. It is not. It's Jonathan Bradshaw, one happy driver in the number 31, taking his victory lap.
Well, that about puts the cork back in the bottle, ladies and gentlemen, until next Saturday. We're going to let the genie back out again around noontime next Saturday. A big doubleheader weekend. Be sure to be here starting at 11 o'clock Saturday morning, 11 o'clock Saturday morning, and 11 o'clock Sunday morning. Spread the word. Bring the kids. Don't hire a babysitter. Children 12 and under absolutely are guests. Free here at Seekonk Speedway. As the Vendetti family, with a little bit of a present for our family